Gonzales,
Hi.
who is a musician, and we're going to be talking to both of these guys today. They're going to be hanging out, I think, for the full 2 hours, both of them. So we're just going to go back and forth, back and forth. So, yeah. So how was y'all's week? Pretty good.
Busy.
Busy.
Always busy.
Oh yeah, believe you me, I totally understand. How about you, Israel?
Very cold.
Yes.
My heater in my car went out, so I'm in the process of getting it fixed. But right now it's very, very chilly.
That is kind of chilly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I stayed at my friend Rachel's house last night. She needed some rescuing from the bar, so I just went ahead and stayed at her place. And she doesn't have the central air and heat and stuff, so she's just got these little heaters, and I'm like curled up with full
20 blankets,
full like like sweatpants and sweat shoes. And I was thinking about going to sleep in my shoes, just to keep my feet that little extra bit warm, but. Yeah, she insisted on not closing the door to her room. I'm like thinking to myself, okay, we'll close the door to the room and just do the heat just in here. And she's like, oh no, you're going to get really, really hot. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. But no, I was freezing this morning. And you can't go anywhere else in the room. And it's funny because you go from one room to the next and it's just colder and colder and colder the further away from the bedroom.
Yeah, I told my brother to get me a Snuggie for Christmas. So
oh,
he's listening.
Microwavable, right?
Yeah.
Right? But 2 comments on that. First off, Snuggie, the first time I saw that commercial, I thought I couldn't help but think KKK or some sort of it just has that look to it that it just does not even look right. But it seems to be, from what I hear, it's got pretty good reviews. It seems to
they
be
got a little dog
warm.
Snuggie now too. And
I think we should boycott that then.
Yeah.
The puppy Snuggie.
Yeah, they get anything and everything for adults they're getting for dogs now too. Do you guys watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
No.
I've seen it before. Very dry, and I understand dry humor. I just don't really like it.
You're not really a fan?
Yeah.
That's one of those shows that I like, I fell in love with almost immediately. And it's not necessarily every single show is a hit, but when they get it, and there's certain things that are just really, really funny on there. And the last one that I watched that was that stuck with me was Charlie, who's one of the characters on there, was trying to sell cat mittens for the cat. They're like, is your cat too loud? And it's like walking across this table. And this whole infomercial that he made was so hilarious. And then the next scene is the cat with the mittens on, and he's walking on the table, but he's shaking his arm out to the side trying to knock these mittens off, and falls off the table. And oh my god, it was just hilarious.
Yeah, I like The Office.
The Office, yeah, The Office is good.
Now TBS is running it 20 times a week now, so it's awesome.
Yeah. The Office, I try to keep up on that, but I don't really have a chance to keep up on it as much as I want. I think the last one I saw of that was when Steve Carell was invited to the executive meeting or something, and he got picked up in a limo, and the whole corporation was going under or going bankrupt or something, and he didn't know. Yeah. What is the character's name with the glasses? That was
Dwight.
Dwight. Oh my gosh, he cracks me up every single time.
He's the nerd of the group.
Yeah, but beyond I
happen to think I'm more like Jim, the cool guy.
Yeah, right.
Although my hair isn't as cool, so.
You're talking about the one that was
Pam's boyfriend.
Yeah.
Receptionist.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. Pretty cute too. But
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
My boyish good looks.
Definitely get that. Yeah, my friend Arnell is a avid follower of the show, and he's saying that Pam and Jim's wedding is a classic episode.
Oh, I saw that one.
Did you see that one?
Yeah,
I haven't seen it yet. I saw the one. Actually, no, I saw the one where they're doing they're trying to find a replacement for Steve Carell's job, and they were on an island playing they had to walk across the coals and do all this other stuff. Do you ever see The Office?
I see it every once in a while.
Yeah, you catch it randomly. Yeah, it's a funny show. There's a few. Oh, and The Amazing Race ended. I am a big fan of The Amazing Race as well. Ugh. I don't know if you ever watched that show.
CBS, no, thank you.
I can't help it. It's not necessarily the show itself that I follow along. It's the idea of it, because I want somebody to pay for me to go to all over the world and do all these fun adventures and stuff, and I wouldn't be scared to do any of it. And and it ended, and the people that won were the ones that were winning the whole time, so it really wasn't suspenseful, but
But you guys see a lot of different places, though.
yeah, definitely. And I'm just like, I actually printed out the application for the Amazing Race, this one that just ended.
Do you have to walk along poles or something like that?
I don't know, but gosh darn it, I'll do it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I signed up for I got the sheet for Fear Factor.
Yeah.
Actually, back in the day, like in 01, 02, and I didn't have a video camera at the time, and I don't even know if I was even doing music back then. Well, at least not seriously. So
Right.
I didn't have access to it because they wanted like a video of you, being goofy and stuff on TV.
Yeah, I definitely, that one, and what was the other one? The Real World was two things that I was seriously considering applying for. The Real World just has been something that I've been wanting to get on for ever and a day until it started turning ridiculous.
Which one would you be? Because they always get the same, people. Like the genre, like a crazy person and and the rich person. And
I would probably be the take on the role of the lesbian, not the equalizer. I'd be the one that was trying to make everybody get along.
But end up in a fight at the
But
end,
end up
right?
in the fight, yeah,
Yeah.
and then hit somebody and get kicked off.
hit somebody with a teddy bear.
My parents would
yeah.
always risk me. What's the word? They would always talk to me about that too, because I wanted to apply to it for so many years that when I originally started wanting to apply to it, I wasn't even old enough, and my mom was like, we should just make a video of you saying to the camera, hey, it's me, I'm 16, I'm not old enough yet, but I still want to do it, and then every year up until I can actually get on. But once I saw how ridiculous the show was getting, I was like, no, I'm not gonna do it anymore. But they would hang that over my head. I would hit my brothers and stuff, or get into fights with my brothers, and they'd be like, hey, you can't do that on the Real World, that's gonna kick you kicked off. I'll be like, I don't care. I'm not on the Real World. This is the Real World, and I'll hit you.
It's so funny how they kick you off, even though they're the ones feeding you alcohol and stuff, and making those situations happen. But then you have to go home whenever.
Yeah,
but you still get paid though, right? Regardless.
I don't know. I don't think you get paid. I mean, I know with the Real World that they provide you with a job, so I'm assuming that you get paid with that. But road rules and stuff like that, I mean, I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe I know if you do the competitions afterwards, the Real World Road Rule competition, and then you win in that. But yeah, and they don't. You're not allowed to have TV. They don't have a TV. They don't have radio.
I'm assuming newspapers.
Yeah, they don't have. I mean, they've got computer access, but I'm just that's a very secluded lifestyle.
So they have nothing to do but get into fights.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, drama all around. But anyway, let's see. So today is going to be a fun-filled day. I've got lots of stuff to talk about. Let's see. I'm reading this new book called Stumbling on Happiness, and so I'm going to talk about what I'm learning from that book. Let's see. Movies that I've seen recently. The most recent movie that I've seen, which I am disappointed in myself that I'm not seeing more movies, but honestly I don't have the time to. But the last movie I saw was Funny People, which did you see it? Did you see it?
Nope.
You didn't see it, but
I thought it was funny.
it was I mean it had mixed reviews, and I understand why it would. For those who haven't seen it, it's kind of the synopsis is okay. So Adam Sandler is a comedian. He plays I can't remember what the character's name is that he plays, but the very first scene of the movie, pretty much he finds out that he's got a very limited amount of time to live, and he's already been successful and all this stuff, and then he kind of looks back and realizes that the way he's lived his life hasn't been the way that he wants to, and so he decides to go back to his roots and do stand up and stuff. So he goes to some stand up places, and Seth Rogen is a aspiring comedian, and he runs into Seth Rogen and sees his show, apparently likes it, asks him to write some jokes for him. So Seth Rogen starts writing jokes for him, and he starts becoming his assistant and stuff, and they develop this kind of friendship, and then of course towards the end find out that Adam Sandler is no longer gonna die, and you
just saved a lot of people $3 from renting it, by the way.
Well, yeah, because I mean, I just assumed that movie was going to be a lot more funny than it was. I mean, it's got Jonah Hill, it's got Seth Rogen, it's got Adam Sandler, it's got what's that chick's name that was on? That's
she
the
was
love
on,
interest. She was on Knocked Up, and
that redheaded girl.
Yeah, well, she's blonde,
40-year-old virgin, right?
Yeah,
I want some French toast.
Yeah, that chick. I think she's actually married to